Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Strategies. I'm your host, Danette Moss, and I truly enjoy bringing you all of what I consider the good in the world of strategy, processes, and more. I live at one of my favorite places, letstalkstrategies.com, where I work with those overwhelmed female CEOs, consultants. They can be DEI consultants, human resource, heck, female consultants who are driven to succeed in life. I work with you to put your business on rinse and repeat. And today, I am so honored to have the awesome Angeline Moore, y'all. She's going to join us and she's going to give us a lot of wonderful information to not only help us in our personal life, but trust me, it's going to help you in your business as well. Angeline is the founder of the Kingdom Sparkle Agency. Don't you love that name? And the A Plus Living Enterprise. As a faith driven systems operations director, she is dedicated, y'all, to optimizing business operations for efficient profitability. As a laughter yoga leader, she champions the benefits of laughter for well being and productivity. And we just had a laughable moment ourselves. So she's going to talk to you more about that here in a second. Through her Elite Kingdom global community and, of course, Kingdom Sparkle podcast, she guides businesses in aligning their purposes with the mindset piece. And I like that. It's so important. Angeline is also an international best-selling co-author and active community member. I can tell you, I can attest that she is truly busy in several different communities, always giving of herself, serving, which is a blessed attribute or a blessed thing to hold in your life. Angeline merges passion, faith, and purpose, inviting others to discover their divine potential. Let me tell you, I'm going to go ahead and bring this awesome lady on so we can get more into how she can help you elevate her journey with her faith forward business ethics. Let's go ahead and bring Angeline on and go ahead and get this party started. How's it going, Angeline?
Hi, Danette. What? I'm so humbled and honored to be here. I cannot believe it. Hello.
I'm excited to have you here. I have been following you in so many different places, and to be able to have you here on Let's Talk Strategies is a real true honor. I met you first over at, I believe it was Breakfast with Champions, not even really knowing that you were part of the Mom Link as well. And to find and to hear and to see all the many gifts that you have, and to see how you've intertwined them, it's just been a blessing. But one thing I can say about you, Angeline, I can really truly see that you operate from a faith-based, with a faith-based principle. And that's something that's extremely important to me. And it's going to really lend to our topic today. That's faith
Yay.
forward business. Aren't you
My
excited?
favorite. I'm so excited. That's my favorite talk.
Well, let me tell you, I truly believe in, and there you go with that laughter. Talk to us a bit about that.
Oh my gosh.
Inside of our your bio, I read that you do the laughter yoga. Tell us a bit
Yeah.
about that before we dive deep into our topic today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my other favorite topics to do, faith and laughter. So it was, I want to say prior to the pandemic, and then the pandemic kind of brought it on for me. I was looking for a way to connect, like we all were when the whole world kind of went shut down and we're
Mhm.
trying to find connection. And I was also trying to connect with my Filipino roots. And because I didn't grow up with a lot of Filipinos around me. So I was like, well, if I'm going to go in a virtual space, I want to find areas that have more Filipinos and try to really do that way. And so I found a networking group, like you've said, I'm part of so many different communities, and I found a networking group doing a virtual summit. And
Mhm.
so I joined it, entrepreneurship, and they had a session in there with laughter yoga. And this woman, she did this. I'm like, oh my God, this is a thing. And I was so excited. I messaged her. I'm like, listen, I love to laugh, and the fact that I see another Filipino woman laughing too and laughing loudly and unapologetically, and then teaching others how to create a safe space to laugh as well and do different laughter exercises. Tell me more, and how can I do what you're doing? And so I jumped in, I became a certified laughter yoga leader. It all started um, in 1995 by Madan Kataria, Dr. Madan Kataria, and 5 people, his friends. He just took them to the park in Mumbai Park, and they started telling jokes to each other. And they eventually, once humor's died down, everybody runs out of what jokes to tell. He came up with this concept of laughter exercises, and laughter yoga was born. And you tie the yoga part because you do deep breathing as well, because it comes from the diaphragm, and it just creates an opportunity for you to be intentional with your laughter. Because what I have found is that our brain has no idea between fake laughter and real laughter. You can still get the benefits of laughter, all the health benefits, all those daily, I call them their daily dose of happy neurotransmitters, that dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, the endorphins, all of those happy brain neurotransmitters gets triggered when you laugh. And when you do it intentionally, even if it's fake, you can still benefit. And then once you're happy, you can be more productive. So I do it for my corporate job. I've done it for our health lessons. I've done it for schools. I've gone to my son's school. They think I'm crazy, but it's just a lot of fun. I did it for MomLink, so I enjoy it so much. Yeah, not a lot of people have heard of laughter yoga, but it's in thousands. There's laughter yoga clubs in over 100 countries now, so it's really exciting that it's starting to spread. Especially with the pandemic, they started doing it virtually, which is kind of hard doing virtual because when you're in
Uh-huh.
a room. I did it for Mary Lynn Wilkins, her event this past Saturday, her afternoon motivation. When you're in a room and you get people to laugh with you, it's such a powerful opportunity to really like spread that type of joy. So it's near and dear to my heart.
Well, I knew I could not wait to ask you that question because, it was the first time I heard about it when you
Yeah.
spoke about it. I never I was like, "What is laughter yoga?" So, I knew that was gonna be one of the first questions I did ask you, even though it doesn't really
Yeah.
dance with our topic today, but it kinda does, right?
It
Because
blends
laughter
in.
brings
It
you the
blends
joy.
in. Yeah.
It blends
Yeah.
yeah, it
Because
comes with joy.
yes, the joy. It brings out the joy that we all, need in faith forward business. So, because sometimes it can't be all joyful. So,
Ooh, tell me something else. We just had to have a laughter yoga session before we got started. You did that with me, right?
yeah. Yep. And what
Entrepreneurship
I love
sometimes
about it
takes
is that
work.
you can do small, simple exercises to really reset your energy for that. So, Danette was talking about we're like trying to get this in there. We're both tech girls, and tech was just not being kind. So I was like, all right, let's pause. And normally I pause and pray, but I'm like, let's pause, say a quick prayer, and breathe, and do a laughter breathing where you breathe in and then just let it out with laughter and just release it all. And then, shifts your energy. So,
And there it was. And then there I was. I was back. So I truly
yeah.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's
Yeah.
dive into our topic today, though, because I am extremely excited about today's topic. You know, anything that talks about faith, but adding faith forward business in.
Mm.
I said, we got to kind of peel back the onion layer here. So I want to talk a bit about what inspired you to start a faith forward type of business, and how does your faith play a role in this journey of entrepreneurship?
Ah, what an excellent question. So, I honestly have had an entrepreneurial heart my whole life. I got into the whole network marketing phase early, right into college with Cutco knives. And if you've ever remember the whole Cutco knives movement, and yeah, I was one of those Cutco knives girls. And it didn't align, right? But like my pull was there. Then I got into 31 bags a couple years later, and then I got into I became in the industry known as a kidnapper. I would just join this one and join that one because I wanted the kits and it was so much better. And then I would just share about it, but never really dived in. But then what I love about network marketing is that it not only gives you a business already, you don't have to worry about the overhead. It taught me self-development
Mm.
and really started working on me and myself. And through it, I met connections and networking and communities. And I found this woman, because faith has always been part of my life. But I always separated the two. You don't blend business and faith. You don't talk religion
Yeah.
in a professional level. That has what I've been grown up and conditioned to throughout my whole life, right? And when I found a woman doing it online and she was sharing, Brooke Thomas, she has this live out loud business, and she was a faith based woman. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can do this. Like, this is okay. And then I found Breakfast with Champions and Glenn Lundy and all the moderators on the stage when I first started listening about 2.5, 3 years ago. I was like, they're talking about their faith too, and they're successful business owners. And they tell you to duplicate and find and surround yourself with people of what you want to do, right? Do the things that
Hmm.
they've already done. And so when I saw that, I really started, because all my life I've always had that. I didn't grow up with a father, so it was always my heavenly father, right? And so without him, I wasn't able to really be where I am and who I am today. And I've always struggled with hiding it, though. Like, I've always
Okay.
prayed, but it was always a thing where you're not supposed to talk about it, like, and it's if you are, you're too much about it or whatever, or what do they call them, Jesus freaks. And
Uh-huh.
when I was going to go to Grow Your Business for God's Sake, and I talk about this in the book that I'm part of, Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World. And I was going to go to the Grow for God conference with Glenn Lundy and Tamara Andress, and it was like the Rise and Grind 1000th episode. I got my VIP ticket. I was going to go, and COVID. I
That
18
thing.
months after the whole pandemic happened, it actually finally hit me, and I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And I was given I got double pneumonia in my lungs. It wasn't just like a bad cold. I got double pneumonia in my lungs, so it took me out, like, completely. I was away from my 3 kids. I'm a mom, I'm a
Mm.
wife, and
Wow.
I literally could not do anything. I could barely breathe. I couldn't laugh, and laughter is my favorite. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. Even talking was hard. So, and I wear many hats. Like, I do so many things, and I was also trying to be an entrepreneur and put my digital footprint out there.
Okay.
And during that quiet, though, during that stillness, during that download, when I was part of these different communities and I was supposed to, like, come up with the summit, God, I don't call them coincidence anymore. I call them God instances. And I got this resounding message of faith forward. And it just kept repeating over and over, faith forward, Angeline, faith forward. And I'm like, because I was like, I just need to hurry up and get well, and I need to get to this conference. I need to be there, and I need to be present. Like, I was getting huge FOMO. I paid for the ticket, I paid for my hotel room, I paid for everything, and I had to, like, I gifted it away because I was like, well, I can't be there. At least someone else can experience it.
Uh-huh.
And I was so disheartened, and I was like, God, can you just fast forward through this crap right now? Can you fast forward through this valley? And he's like, my daughter, he forced me still. And he is like, you need to faith forward. Stop
Wow.
trying to fast forward through this all. I need you to faith forward instead.
Wow.
And And that's where my Faith Forward Virtual Summit came into play, where I wanted to have a space to bring others on to speak their faith forward story, to speak their, faith stories on what, even in the valleys, the little mustard seed of faith. And it's resounding. It continues to happen all the time. So that's kind of where it started.
So, Angeline, in what ways have you incorporated those values and beliefs into your company culture? Because you mentioned how people will try to tell you not to put it in, to keep it separate. But how have you
Mhm.
incorporated that into your company culture since now you felt the freedom to do so?
Honestly, it's always been I don't worry about what everybody else thinks anymore, and that used to be a huge thing for me, and, how others would see me, and it's like, well, this isn't a good idea. It's a God idea. It's in His hands and it's for His kingdom. So this year, my word, I have a word every year, has been
Mhm.
kingdom. When I started the Kingdom Sparkle agency, that was another God instance where I was going through a very dark valley, and I actually wrote my book. And then this it just kept that's just another repeat in my head where he's like, Kingdom Sparkle, Angeline, Kingdom Sparkle. And I actually have a framework that I use daily, and I share on my podcast, and I share on my BWC segment on Breakfast with Champions on the the Clubhouse app. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And my Sparkle framework has I use the acrostic or acronym of the letters in Sparkle, and
Okay.
it's S, soaking in a higher frequency, P, in prayer, A, asking the right questions, R, ruminating in gratitude, K, keeping the faith forward, L, laughing and loving through it all, and then the E, embracing and evolving in the journey. And I always blend that. And when I talk about keeping the faith, and I have God as my CEO, the Holy Spirit is my CFO, like it has to,
Yes.
I have to, because if it's not of him so that I can bring my sparkle out and bring the sparkle out in others for his kingdom, it doesn't work. It's not going to work. I've tried it. I've tried to do it the world's way, and I've struggled. So once I started leaning into my faith walk, I got braver in my faith talk and
Mm.
knew that there was no way that it couldn't be together. That's why my agency is called Kingdom Sparkle,
I
because I
love
want
it.
to activate, align, and amplify the God-given sparkle in each and
Yes.
every person that comes across my path for His kingdom.
So
So,
it's because we need him to show up. We need him to show
yes,
up. That's
and He
right.
does. He will, and He always will. So that's kind of where I align. I go into everything through prayer first. It's funny because my husband and even different colleagues of mine, we talk and we're like, well, how do you get through all this stuff? I'm like, well, did you pray? Like they'll start
And and
saying
and and
how
that's
this
funny
is
that you
not
would say
yeah
that because I was
yeah
gonna ask you, how do you
yeah
how do you navigate between faith-based principles and the practical aspects of running a
mm,
business, especially in this diverse marketplace that we're in. We're
hmm
among a lot of different people, but when we step up and we show up, he needs to be front and center. How do
hmm
you navigate between the two?
Honestly, it's through prayer. There's so much power in the prayer, and it's that simple. Like I stay in the word as much as possible. I'm not one of those that can spit it out and have memory of different scriptures. I have my
No,
favorite,
no.
Romans 8:28, for the good, but like I'm not one of those. I use AI, I use technology to my advantage
Hello.
to help me bring all of that to blend it together. Like that's why I love ChatGPT, because I'm like, I want to say this, this, and this, blend it with faith and business, boom. And then it helps me articulate exactly what I want to say. But honestly, to keep it practical, I have to pray to him. And then he always leads my words.
Love it.
The Holy Spirit leads me to know what to say and how to present it in a way that not only works for the goals that I'm supposed to accomplish, but really his goals. Because again, I may
Mhm.
think it's a good idea, but if it's not a God idea, in the end, it's all going to fall apart.
Oh, I love that you mentioned that, and you've given so many nuggets in this time since we've been on here to help that faith-based entrepreneur know that, listen, one, it's okay to show up in faith.
Yes.
Two, we don't need to tuck and hide the God that we
Mhm.
serve. No, we
Mhm.
don't. It's so important because here it is. If he's not building it, that house is going to fall, right? And we don't need
Yeah.
anything on sinking sand. And that's what I love about you and love listening to you and following you and knowing the work, knowing, seeing you on
Mhm.
Clubhouse, seeing you out on, dealing with Kingdom Sparkle, your agency, knowing that you are knee deep in technology, but you're keeping God first.
Yes. You
You
have
know,
to.
it's so important, and I love, you know, it's kind of funny story. Before we actually wrap things up, to sit here and watch how I did not plan on my show really having a lot of faith based stuff in it, even though I'm Christ
Mm,
driven, right?
yeah,
Nor did I
yeah.
say I wasn't going to do it, but
Mhm.
somehow the Lord has just been bringing a lot of faith based entrepreneurs my way.
I love
And
it.
I am
Look
just
at God move.
listen, he will tell you that, listen,
Mhm.
you do it my way and I'll show you how to make it happen, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right. I didn't plan on having KSA, Kingdom Sparkle Agency, at all. That was all God. That was all putting the right people in front of me and them saying to me, "Hey, let's go." And I'm like, "Okay."
So,
Saying yes to God when he tells you to move too is another key point.
listen, definitely, it's a big key point. So, I'm going to talk a bit about that as we begin to wrap things up. As a faith based or faith forward, I love our topic title, right? Faith forward entrepreneur. What do you see as the future of faith based businesses? And how do you
Mm.
plan to continue, Angeline, growing and moving forward, continuing and evolving in this space? You know, because, you know, there's a lot going on right now.
Oh,
How do you
so
think,
much.
you know?
The future, I see it in my spirit. I feel it so much as he continues to open the right doors and aligns me with the right people. Like you said, he pulls in these people in front of you and connects you with the right person. It's all through prayer, and I see it expanding. I see his kingdom expanding. I see more of us getting more into aligning with what he's called us for,
Okay.
and uh, bringing up in arms for it so that we can make an impact in the world, because prosperity and abundance is his gift to us that he wants everyone to have. There's room for all of us, and
Yeah.
that's what I know that movement's happening. That's why in my heart it's still in its very infancy, but my Elite Kingdom Global, it's going to go out there. I'm just saying. So I'm so excited. It's all him for his glory. And as far as how I see that or what I'm doing for that, I'm continuing to align myself with people like you that are super amazing to continue to build platforms like this that allows me to say yes to God and to share it, right? To get more loud with my faith talk, because I used to hide it. I used to be very ashamed. And I'm like, if they're like, "Oh, you're a Christian," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." Yeah, so, and then now I'm like, "Yeah, I love Jesus. What? But
Hello.
don't you?"
But you better ask
What
somebody,
do you
right?
mean you don't? What is it? So, I'm really excited, and then aligning myself with different uh things that I hold near and dear to my heart, like an event coming up tomorrow. I'm part of this with Carla Runner. She's done this for 3 years. It's called Wailing to Warring Women, where we're going to be in represented in 51 areas. So 50 states, all 50 states has a prayer leader,
Wow.
and DC, so the nation's capital too. They're going to go to each state's state capital, and
Okay.
they're going to be praying together at the same time, so 12 Eastern, and then figure out your time zones. But then, and then I have the privilege and honor to bring it to the virtual stage. So me and you love this tech. We love this digital age, and we help simplify that for others. And so I am excited that I can bring it to the virtual space and create a virtual prayer as well to connect all the states together to be like, hey, we're in
That's good.
DC, we're in Texas, we're in Florida, and at the state capitol, and we're gonna have a nationwide prayer for our nation. And
Wow.
I'm really excited about that. So different events like that is where I'm going to continue to show up so that he can show out.
Well, let me tell you, I also know that you show up somewhere that I always see you and love hearing your voice, love hearing your shares. And that's also every Monday with
Yes.
Breakfast with Champions. I mean,
Yes.
you play a major role there. Monday motivation. You
Yes.
truly motivate people. You give your all. Not
Thank
only are you giving
you.
your all there, I mean, your footprint is everywhere. I know
Mhm.
that this weekend is really, truly going to be a blessing. And I encourage everyone, I mean, can people come out?
They
Uh,
can. They can go up to their state capital if they want to. And like if you're in Florida and you're close to Tallahassee, come out, go. Atlanta. What's Georgia's? Is it Atlanta? Is your state capital?
Atlanta. Uh-huh.
Atlanta. So you can
Uh-huh.
go to the state capital in Atlanta and show up, and you're still Eastern, so you'd go there a little bit before 12, and you'd see the gathering of the women warriors. There's a shirt, there's like a green army, so you'll see the women collectively and be
Okay.
part of it. And if you're not, just go to angelinemoore.com. You'll see the link to tap in virtually as well. But yeah, go to your state capital wherever you're at, and join us on September 16th. It's going to be incredible. We'll do it every year. So if you can't participate this year, just put it on your calendar for next year to look out for the wailing to warring.com movement. It's so exciting. I can't wait.
Awesome. So, Angeline, as we wrap up, did you say, are you in Tallahassee?
I am in Central Florida, so I will not be going to my state capital. That's why I did the digital virtual space.
I was getting ready to get excited. My son,
Because that's close. No, Tallahassee is too
my
north.
son is down at FAMU in Tallahassee.
Oh, very
My
cool.
youngest son.
Very
So
nice.
that just really made me
Congratulations.
just like smile, like, oh wow, I probably get a chance to meet her face to face one day. But
Maybe next year I'll come up and then we can. We'll plan the state capital prayer then, and I'll make my way up there. It's quite a
but
drive from central. I'm very, very central Florida. So
gotcha. Well, I am going to just openly say to you and to everyone that's watching, Angeline, I count it a privilege. I appreciate you for coming and joining me here on Let's Talk Strategies with Danette Moss. And you all, we are here every Tuesday at 12 noon. That's Eastern. Okay. And
the correct time zone.
that's right. That's right. Because I get all mixed up on those other different things.
Oh my gosh, me too.
But what I
I
tell
just want to
you is,
say
go
I
ahead.
want to say really quick, I apologize, Danette. I know that you're wrapping up. I just want to say thank you for having me. I am humbled. You said it's a privilege, but I am so humbled and feel completely honored to share this space with you and to be on your show. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. And
Well, it was
you
a
guys,
blessing to have you, girl. I tell you, because we talk everything, all things faith forward
yeah,
business. I had to have this topic. They
yeah,
got a chance to still see who you are in this,
me too.
on this topic. They got a chance to see that you're a business owner, and they got
Me
a chance to
too.
know how you serve. As a
Mhm.
business owner, we need to understand we are in a space of serving. If we forget
Mhm.
about it, in my opinion, there's no business,
Yep.
especially as a faith based entrepreneur. You're serving, whether you want to
Yep.
admit to it or not, you are serving people. And, being able to show up is what's key for God. So I want you all to make sure that you all connect with Angeline. Go over to angelinemoore.com. Please, y'all, make sure that you connect with her every Monday over on Breakfast with Champions. It's on Clubhouse. She does
Clubhouse.
the Monday motivation, and her hands it's in so many different things when it comes to even with Breakfast with Champions. She's extremely busy, but I tell you this: you will walk away from there with something that will affect your life and your business. That's what I love about that whole experience, and that's where I got a chance to really see who you were. To
Oh,
glean
thank
and to
you.
learn more about you. So it's been an honor. As we wrap up, is there any last minute suggestions that you think you might want to share with the faith based entrepreneur, how she or
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
could continue to grow and move forward with God in mind? Share any last words.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Danette. And again, it's been such an honor here. I love to say that I don't think of coincidences anymore. I believe in God instances. So really lean into the different God instances in your life. And you negativity can only impact you if you allow it to. So vibrate higher. And always remember that it's always for the good. And regardless of whatever you're going through, there's a bigger plan for you. And your sparkle is inside, and let it shine out there because it's needed. You are needed. You're amazing. The two most powerful words in the English language are I am and everything that you say after I am. So it can either make or break you. So make sure that you know how amazing you are and say it every day. I am amazing. So that is it. Oh, you
I
are, I
love
can't
the
hear you. Oh,
I
there you
love
are.
the I amness. I walk in the I am words. I really truly
Yeah.
appreciate you for mentioning that. And you know I'm gonna have you back here. So no worries. You'll be back here
Yay.
soon.
I'm
You'll
excited.
be back here.
And you're going to come on my Kingdom Sparkle podcast too.
Oh, so
I
I'm
cannot wait to
super
interview
excited and
you.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
So I want to welcome and those of you that are just kind of hanging in and watching us and getting a chance to jump in on the ending portion of our episode. I want to tell you that you will always have an opportunity to join me here every Tuesday, or not just me, these awesome guests like Angeline Moore. Trust and believe when you come to Let's Talk Strategies with moi, Danette Moss, you are guaranteed to get the things that you need that's going to help you with not just your business, but your life. I believe in blending. I don't believe in the balancing act, in my
Mm,
opinion. I don't believe that
yeah.
balance is something that we all really can do because we have to stop and start. So my
Mm,
whole goal and vision and dream is to bring you things with the blend. So we're going to work on things that deal with your life and your business here on Let's Talk Strategies. So make sure that you come back here and join us every Tuesday on the Limelight Network. We are living and enjoying ourselves. We're attached to the E360 TV. So let me tell you, you will find us in any of these realms. Let me tell you, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere that I believe you need that strategy nudge, you'll find us. So
mm.
make sure you come back and check us out at 12 noon Eastern. I can't tell you all those other time zones. I know about Pacific and all of that, but I think I live in the best time zone. But come back and make sure
So
that you
the
join us.
only time zone you need to know.
And again, I am Danette Moss. I am the owner and founder over at Let's Talk Strategies, where I work with those what I consider overwhelmed female CEOs. They can be DEI consultants, human resource consultants, female CEOs in general. I help you literally take your life from overwhelm to putting that thing on rinse and repeat. And I do this using my SAS framework. And if you're wondering what SAS stands for, because people are always asking me, it's all about helping you simplify, automate, systematize, and streamline your business. It's also about helping you put some faith in this walk. Look at there. It's also, I don't know if it broke off there. It's also about helping you put your faith in your business. Don't separate it. All right. This is Danette Moss signing off. Until next time.
Thank you, Danette.